Welcome to Photo Finds. I am your host Kevin, and this week we are getting started at the Magic Kingdom, or more specifically at the Contemporary. So we are looking from the monorail track over to this zone under construction here next to the ferry boat dock. Let's get another look at it, and you can see it's a pretty wide swath that's under construction. Now before you get too excited thinking there's another DVC resort on the way, it's really just another bus loop. So they're expanding the bus loop area here, so there'll be a third area for the buses to loop into this zone, and fewer buses would have to stop over at the TTC on their way in. Now at the Magic Kingdom, they've got a little bit of the planter under construction here at the very front. And then I thought I would take a picture of this. I've been seeing it for several weeks now. There's different kinds of people meeting you at the RFID-enabled entrance turnstiles. There's no turnstiles anymore, so you've got the cast members themselves. You can see them wearing the familiar blue and kind of orange rust color. You've got these folks who are My Magic Plus guys wearing these blue shirts. They're new. Guest Relations cast members, and then these, which are wearing Guest Relations, I guess, inspired kinds of clothes. So there's an entire phalanx of people there to help you get in and even to scan your card if you don't have an RFID scanner. This past weekend was moderately crowded, and I thought this was an interesting dynamic at Town Square Theater. Meet Mickey was a 5-minute wait, but as you can see, the Princesses was a 70-minute wait. So they really have a mismatch there between those two in terms of throughput as well. There is a little bit of construction going on at the Champion shop here. So they've got a scrim set up and another scrim and construction set up at the Mad Tea Party. A couple of views now of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Coaster. One through the peephole on the Dumbo side, and then back around to see the exterior, still getting some work done across the top. And then a couple of views now from the other peephole over by Our Guest Restaurant. A couple of things to point out here. First, finally these have been anchored in. The last time we took a picture of this area, these pylons were out here in the dirt. Now they're anchored into what appears to be a concrete trench. And as you can see it here, and especially from the next picture, look at how almost sideways that particular track goes. This looks to be a particularly interesting section of track. And it could be that this is the beginnings of a themed structure here in the middle, so it could be that we're zooming right by a mountain, let's say. More construction going on at Columbia Harbor House. This particular scrim doesn't have any theming to it, although the other side does. The usual expensive photorealistic theming, as you can see from these shots here. A little more construction on the backside of the Hall of Presidents. And then these carts came from the opposite side of the walkway. Now this cart, the turkey leg cart, has always been there, again over by the water usually. This cart, let's take a closer look now, is now selling ham and cheese sandwiches or roast beef and Swiss sandwiches for $7.50 each. They've long had a fruit cart here in Liberty Square. I don't know how long they've had these decorations of fake food, but it does add a nice touch. And I don't think I've been on Swiss Family Treehouse since it closed for refurbishment some time ago. These paddles look new to my eyes, the ones that are obviously less aged than the other ones. And you can see already there's a little bit of construction going on the water wheel area of the treehouse, even though it is open for business. Now we are here taking a look at what was once the Crow's Nest merchandise location. It is going to be home to a Pirate's Adventure Treasure of the Seven Seas, and you can see the name peeking out from behind the burlap of the sign here, and that's true of this sign as well, further out from the Crow's Nest. It's going to be the distribution point for A Pirate's Adventure, Treasure of the Seven Seas. This is to be an interactive game in Adventureland, much like Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom, where you go somewhere physical and trigger an event. So here's an example of one of the locations. And the event, we don't know what they'll be, probably something screen-like over here, maybe audio and video. And then the skull, if we take a closer look, has a symbol etched onto it. So we're going to hold up a card, RFID card, to the symbol to trigger the event. So there are several of these scattered throughout Adventureland. Here's a bullseye symbol, and the cannon's going to shoot over at that chest, we think, or perhaps trigger an explosion in the water. Here's another one over here where the symbol might be this piece of paper and then the treasure chest opening up over there. There's the piece of paper, Captain Jack Sparrow. And you can see perhaps this Royal Navy hat is the symbol for that particular one. closer look at that treasure chest. And this is the area where that treasure chest is located. It was formerly the remote control boats next to the Jungle Cruise. And then this is a structure on the other side of that. I include it here because I don't really know what it was for. Not having lived on this coast when I was younger, I don't remember what the Oasis is or was, and be appreciative if anyone could tell me in the comments what this location once did at the very exit to Jungle Cruise. But let's get back to the game. These columns are new. You can see that we are near these tikis that squirt water, and the columns are also part of the game. There's a palm tree icon on that skull there. And then this alley near Pirates of the Caribbean is home to the next several. There's one here, one there, one behind that, and then one on the side here. Take a closer look at the conquistador hat. And then halfway down there's this stone idol with that skull. And then even further down there's this boat in the background here, and then this material in the front with this horn and the pirate ship etched onto the horn. And then coming back out toward pirates again, you see these skulls on sticks, and there's a skull and crossbones icon there, and no word yet on what exactly these skulls do when you trigger an event, because the game, of course, is not turned on yet. This is around by Pirates League, which is that dress-up and makeup place. Another cannon, and this one is the cannon symbol, as you can see there. And then around the corner from there, out into the Caribbean Plaza, you'll see another one here. Some kind of symbol on the gun, I think, is what this symbol is, although I can't make out exactly what it is. Perhaps an anchor. And if you look around the corner from there, you'll see a bird, and this bird does talk. We actually heard it talk. Perhaps it was testing while we were there. So it's an animatronic bird, of course. I don't know if you remember this. Once upon a time, this was a quick service food location. There are a couple of windows here. This is that alleyway leading to the bathrooms by Pirates of the Caribbean shop. And now it's behind a canvas tarp. And that's new, that canvas tarp. So presumably it's something to do with the game. At Tortuga Tavern, here's another location. Now this one is a compass. And as you can see from the Parks blog, which made a post about this, it had something to do with finding out where your next game is, I think. So you use your card to scan in, and it tells you where to go next. Now we know where this is. That's that bullseye cannon. We know where this is. That's that one naval hat. And perhaps that parrot is what we had seen over on that gun icon, rather than being an anchor. It's just hard to see from the angle that we saw it at. Now this one's at the very entrance to Adventureland. At the present, it's hidden behind a number of strollers, and that's going to be an issue. We're looking for the sand dollar and that clamshell behind it. That opens up and shows a kind of pearl. You can see that on the Parks blog. A quick aside, I think this used to be fully covered in next to the Sorcerers of the Magic Kingdom kiosk at the Sunshine Tree Terrace, so they've obviously done a little bit of construction there. But we're continuing our tour through Adventureland near the open-air Agrabah section. This is actually one as well. Let's take a closer look there, and we'll see it as a snake icon, which makes sense since there were snakes nearby. And this is brand new, and if you look a little bit closer, you'll see it is a panther icon, because inside that cabinet is a panther. And you can see in the Parks blog video that the eyes light up, so this is obviously one of the other locations for the game. The Dole Whip area, Aloha Isle, is under construction as well. This is actually the Adventureland veranda under construction, and it's under construction from the front side also. No word on what it is they're doing, but you can see all angles of that particular restaurant are behind the walls. This got my attention when we were in Adventureland. I'm not sure exactly which character this is, but it's for sale for $12, a stuffed animal of some sort. TVC construction at the Grand Floridian. There was a structure on that side and then a couple of structures on this side. Obviously they're smaller structures and not the main thing. At Downtown Disney, this t-shirt truck keeps moving around. It's now near the entrance to Pleasure Island. This Raglan Road bar, quick service location outside of Raglan Road, was new to my eyes. Perhaps you've seen it there before. I'm not sure if it's always there on the weekends. I don't think it is. And we're switching over to Animal Kingdom, which is, of course, celebrating its 15th anniversary this week and this last weekend. As you can see, they've got something of a logo set up for it, and as well as some artwork by William Silvers. Now, we stopped into Restaurantosaurus, and it's been a little while since I've been here, so I was noticing that a few things had changed. The mac and cheese hot dog, which I'd previously seen in Hollywood Studios, I think as a test, now appears to be going a little bit more park-wide or resort-wide. The vegetable Subosaurus, looked new to me. And then this really kind of caught my attention as well. The peanut butter and jelly sandwich, Uncrustables, $7. Or the turkey sandwich, $7.50. This is for the child's meals. Now, it does come with a pail and shovel, as you can see here, a cheap little plastic thing. Didn't find out if it was offered without that, but I'm guessing that it's not something they offer you unless you ask, and even then they may not do it. These prices have really come up since a few years ago when we first moved here. They have a souvenir mug specific to Animal Kingdom, available for $5. And then this also caught my eye. It perhaps potentially has been there for many months. Sprite Zero is at least at some of these drink cell refills now. Now, this is in the Dinorama section, of course, and what I'm looking at here is the Dino Wham in the background. This is a completely new installation to what you see is the popcorn cart. Over to my right is the former game where you would whack on the weight and try to shoot the weight as high as you can. It's the Ring the Bell game, the strength game. It's been completely disconnected. It's now just a backdrop, and this has now taken the place of that waiting area for that, where they've got some drinks housed and something having to do with the popcorn stand. Around the corner from there at the Nemo Theater, there are construction walls up, although the theater itself is open. And as you can see, this planter is now missing from in front of the Nemo Theater, making it a little easier to get around the area. More construction walls at Expedition Everest. And around the corner from Expedition Everest, we will see that the ice cream cart, which used to be surrounded by these construction walls, is now missing entirely. So there is no ice cream truck. In fact, they've left a little sign here noting that this used to be the location of the ice cream truck, but they've gone trekking. This was interesting to me. I don't often see the giraffes over on this side of the savannah. We are actually at the baobab tree near the elephants. Normally we'd be looking to the left, looking at the elephants, but the giraffes are out. So I don't know if they've done something different to encourage the giraffes to be out more, but I thought I would show you since it caught my attention. This also seemed pretty unusual to me. At the top of the copy where the lions are located, there was a female lion all the way at the very top, which I'd never seen before. In fact, it looks like it would be hard to get up there. But there she was. A couple of pieces of merchandise since we're here. Relationship status complicated, obviously Facebook inspired on this particular t-shirt. And then this is a view of World Drive out in front of Hollywood Studios. I do have some other merchandise to get to, but I'm not sure if you can see it here. There's something I wanted you to see out next to World Drive. Indeed, that is an alligator, a fair-sized one actually, crawling around and going back to his home lake over on the side here. Didn't actually go out into the water. There's some more of the merchandise. This is at D Street, where Marvel is more and more visible amongst the merchandise, and Iron Man in particular, because of the movie coming out this summer, obviously. A Thumper Vinylmation. And then that brings us to the end of the merchandise. I do have something new to share with you. Now, as you know, I write books, and I don't make a big deal out of saying a lot about them until there's something new, and this is something new. This is a book of translations of Grimm's fairy tales that you have never read before. So these are, as you can see, according to the title here, from the 1810 manuscript. This is what the Grimms were working with when they went out and recorded the stories before they altered them, changed them around, and published them. And the stories are dramatically different. Everything from Cinderella, as you saw earlier, here, the Frog King, the basis for Princess and the Frog, Hansel and Gretel, as you see here, also radically different in the original version. This is Sleeping Beauty with the prince going through that thicket of thorns. Everything from Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty. This is Snow White out in the forest. Everything is very different in these stories, the first versions of them, and we not only pay attention to how the stories have changed as a text, but what that means for how we view those Disney movies. So have a look when you can if you're too and interested. That book is for sale from both Amazon and Kindle. It's $6.99 from Amazon, 114 pages, and we think you'll like it quite a lot. It's very unique and original. So that does it for this week. Thanks as always for your attention. We'll catch you next time.